everyone, Ali the AI assistant here. As we get closer to the end of season 1, we're excited to bring you a special throwback episode that we shot back in January but never got around to releasing. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this timeless conversation that's just as relevant today as it was then.
Hey Christina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining us. I know your journey to get here was pretty crazy this morning.
Yes, it was. Had a network outage, which I've never experienced at home, only experienced that at work. So I can't get on the internet until 5 p.m.
That's a bummer.
What a way to put restrictions on fun, right?
What a bummer, for sure. But again, thank you for being here anyway. So I have to say something. Your hair is different. New year, new you. What inspired the change?
Okay, so it was a very hard decision. Of course, you've seen my hair long, but I went to a hairstylist who put a relaxer in my hair without my consent.
Oh, man.
And then I called my aunt and was like, I need you to fix my hair because I think I cut it wrong. So she's a hairstylist and she fixed it and then she put some color in it. So I'm starting to love it. You know, I'm starting my new hair journey again. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's a bummer. Like, seriously. But like I was telling you, like I've done the big chop thing now like 4 times. So every time my parents see me, they never know what they're gonna get. So I guess now it's not a big chop; it's just a haircut, a Tuesday for me.
And then you come and go, let's look at my haircut.
I mean, for me, it would have been great if I was like, oh, I want to chop my hair off. I want something new. But this was more like, I have to cut my hair because my texture is completely different and I can't do anything with my hair.
You know what though? Oddly enough, I remember growing up, that was such a common occurrence anyway. Like even for, you know, older people or younger people who are getting relaxers willingly, like going through that whole process of, oh great, my hair is so damaged now I have to cut it. So that's like, oh God, we're not even gonna go, just trauma. Let's keep it pushing. Man, I'm sorry that happened, but you look great.
Thank you.
You're definitely working it, girl. Yes, face is facing. All right, so we're going to get into it. I know you've already seen episode 2, so you know what's about to happen. We're going to play a little game. It's called That's My Jam, 90s R&B edition. But anyway, here are the rules in case you don't already know them. Tiffany and I will each have 2 songs. That is 4 songs. Each card, we don't have cards today, we have cell phones, but each card is going to have the lyrics of the song along with the name of the artist and the name of the song. You have until the end of the lyrics to guess the name of the song or the name of the artist. If you guess both, doesn't actually matter. Points are still the same, but you get to flex, so that's cool. When you're ready to guess, when you're ready to guess, just go ahead and say pause, and we'll pause. You get 2 guesses, so use them wisely.
All right, I guess this is about to test my blackness, right?
How deep is your 90s R&B bag?
I'm an 80s baby, so hopefully, you know.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Well,
All right, I'll kick it off with the first song. Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. 'Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else loves me like you do. That's why I don't mind to spend my life with you. I want to please you.
Isn't it my stuff? Do you ever?
girl.
No, that's not.
It's okay. You get 2 guesses.
You want me,
Okay, sing it one time.
would you like for me to start over or just
Do it.
finish the lyrics?
Do it more rhythmic. Just do it more rhythmic.
You want me to sing it? Okay, here we go.
Nobody said sing it. Just say it more
Yes.
rhythmic.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. 'Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else love me like you do. That's why I don't mind to spend my life with you. I want to please you in any way I can. I want
If she don't know it by now,
share my
Anthony
world.
buzz her.
Don't you understand? Turn me inside out. You make my heart speed. Need no one else. You're all I need. Personality. Everything you do makes
I
me
think I
to
need to hear
love
beat, but
everything about you. Your smile, your style is so fly. I can't deny. I got a crush on you.
Tiffany's heated.
And that is true indeed. And I'm digging you. You make me believe.
Romeo Must Die.
We giving hints.
I have to.
oh, DMX. No, I'm sorry.
I'm buzzing her. I'm buzzing her myself.
Yeah.
First, you don't succeed.
No. It's 1 in a million, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You good.
She said the artist. I'll give her.
Wait,
Okay.
what song was that?
1 in a million. Yo, love is 1 in a million.
Oh, by Aaliyah.
Yeah.
You said Must Die.
Wasn't she in Romeo Must Die?
Yes, she was in Romeo.
She was
But
absolutely. The song that
absolutely.
she wrote for Romeo Must Die was Dust Yourself Off and Try Again.
The hint was
So,
Aaliyah.
my bad. And I love Aaliyah. So, yeah.
All right. So, song number 2. Girl, I must warn you. I sense something strange in my mind. Your situation is serious. Let's cure it because we're running out of time. No? Relationships, they seem from the start. It's all so deadly when love is not together from the heart. It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. Wrong move, you're dead.
Why does it sound so familiar? Wait, say it again from the beginning.
Christina did not go to the picnics. That's what.
I think it's because you can't sing.
That's fair. That's a fair. I mean, everyone here is definitely tone deaf. All right, we can start from the beginning. Okay. Girl, I must warn you. I sense something strange in my mind. Situation is serious. Let's cure it because we're running out of time. Relationships, they seem from the start. It's also deadly when love is not together from the heart. It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me
this new
to
edition.
find. Get it out
It's
of.
driving me out of my mind.
Yes.
Why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. That girl is poison.
Okay, we'll give her that one. Okay. All right. See, I got somehow you got it. There you go.
Oh.
Somehow you got it, even though I can't sing. Go ahead, Tiffany.
All right. I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. Because when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I could make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see you, the more that it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me, it's only you. I know anybody's going to be lonely without the reason they got someone to care for. Maybe all you need is a shoulder to cry on. If that's a fact, then I'll be more than you ever could dream of.
This is my song, boy. What is
But
happening?
I can't hit a voice.
Let me. Can I do this one?
You're saying
Now I'll just start over.
Okay.
All right. So I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. Because when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you...
Wait, I would like to get. Oh, wait, say the beginning again.
And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. That was bad, but
Yeah, it was pretty bad. She said, say the beginning again.
okay. Did you know the music? Do-do-do-do-do.
That's not it.
I would like to get to know if I could be
Oh, I could be
the kind of girl that you could be down for.
down for.
Hey.
Yes.
When I look at I
There you go.
feel
Take it away.
something
Take it away.
You're the kind of guy that I should make a move on.
All right.
And if I don't let you know, and I won't be for real. I'm trying to think could be going on no more. See you no more.
All right. Okay, last song. This one you should know within the first two lines. Before anything began between us, you were like my best friend. The one I used to run and talk to when me and my girl was having problems. You used to say, it'll be okay.
Usher. Usher.
Yes.
You make me want to leave the
Yeah. Okay, so what was that?
You know, I'm a huge Usher fan.
I know. So I had to give you that one.
Yes, I'm a huge Usher fan. Like, can't nobody say nothing about him without me getting my feelings.
I was gonna wait. So I was creeping through your Instagram stories. Didn't you go to the Usher concert?
I did.
In Vegas?
I did. Wish I was in front so he could see me, see him, see me.
Yeah, it was in Vegas, right?
Yeah, it was in Vegas.
Oh, that's
crazy. It
crazy.
was phenomenal. His performance is off the charts. And if he comes to DC, I definitely need to make a move to the front.
Okay. We got a lot to talk about offline, but okay. So let's get down to business. Here we go. All right. So if it's your first time here, welcome. If you already know the vibes, welcome back. I am Jordan, aka Jay, aka Big Steppa, aka Ghostface Killer, and I'm here with my co-host.
Right. I'm Tiffany B, and we're excited that you're here with us today for the Stats on Stats podcast, where we get to talk to leaders in the cyber, IT, and technology fields. Speaking of leaders, we're joined today with someone we know as Christina Redmond, and I think Jordan wants to do another intro.
I had this really dope introduction for you, but you did kind of ask me to refrain from doing it, so I'm not gonna.
I did?
Oh, so do you want me to do it?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. See, I wasn't ready, but I'm a true professional. So, okay. She's a data guru, master of efficiency. Word on the street is she's the queen of Chocolate City. Ambition limitless, motivation unmatched, confidence admitted like an unwavering fact. I'm passing the mic, the juice about to drive. Y'all better listen closely because her journey is a vibe. Thank you for letting me do that.
Thank you. Yes, my nickname is Juice. Crazy how I got that name, but
we have. I'm gonna actually ask you about that in a second. Can I ask it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Why do people call you that?
So I act like a mom, I guess, and people always say, you always got everything in your bag. Like someone says, you got, hand sanitizer. I'm like, yeah. You got lotion. Yeah. You got anything like spray. I even have the travel size Lysol sprays and just travel size everything. I even made travel size gift bags for Friendsgiving. So one of my girlfriends, she was like, I'm gonna start calling you Juice because you always got something in your bag. You always making sure you look after us. And so yeah, that's kind of, but my nickname when I was a baby, my mom used to call me Moo Moo. She said I cry like a cow. So that was my nickname very long time. And I hated it. I hated the nickname. My aunt had to convince my mother to stop calling me that. So.
Man, could you imagine being a teenager in high school and your mom picks you up, Moo Moo, I'm here?
Well, she stopped calling me that in elementary school. So it was
okay.
all the way up elementary school, and I was just like, can you stop calling me that, please?
Yeah. I honestly, when you told us your nickname was Juice, I thought it was a nod to Meek Mill. You know that song where he's I got the juice. No.
I mean, I have juice in other ways, but that's the topic. But no, it was from my girlfriend saying, I'm always, and I don't have kids, so she people meet me, they be like, how many kids you got? I'm like, none. And they're like, really? Because you act like a mom. So
right on.
Yeah,
I dig that.
I got preparation for when I do have children.
Tiffany, you got it.
I always have kids with me, like my nephews, my godkids, those are my kids. So I always have to have cleaning products, especially for my little nephew that looks just like me. The stuff that he does, it's unreal.
So you stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Absolutely.
All right.
Especially with boys.
All right. I hear you, Juice. Okay. Well, thanks for all of that intro stuff. Now, I guess I'll stick to Christina for the podcast. So, Christina, would you introduce yourself to our listeners? Let them know, you got your name. Let them know your origin city, your origin state, and what your role is currently.
So my name is Christina Redmond. I'm from Washington, D.C. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I have a cultural background, but I'm from Washington, D.C. And my role is I'm a consultant architect for a software company.
Okay, one more thing. How long have you been in the cyber technology IT space?
So I'm going to start from the beginning. I actually worked in armed security before I transitioned to cybersecurity. It was a great foundation for me, but it was a lot of drama. I felt like I was in high school. I felt like a Kardashian. I mean, my name was always the topic of discussion. It was always Redmond this and Redmond that, and Redmond is doing this and Redmond is doing that. And a lot of the stuff wasn't true. A little small bit of it was just kind of embellished, if that makes sense. Yeah, like I learned a lot. I'll just say that. I started studying. I wanted to get into IT. I really didn't know where to go, but there was an officer, his name is Curtis, and he told me about The Secret and how the law of attraction, and I started watching that video and just kind of learning about the law of attraction and a lot of prayer, just asking God to like show me how to transition into a career that I love. It worked. I mean, I started studying for certifications and I got my first job as a tier 2 service desk position, and it took off from there. Like 3 months later, I got an entry-level position as a cybersecurity specialist in the same building. So I was trying to actually quit the tier 2 service desk position, but the supervisor liked me so much. He was like, well, just work the night shift if that's going to be your day job. And it was in the same building. So it actually worked out. So I worked during the day upstairs, and then in the evening I would come downstairs and work. So I ended up working 2 jobs. I'm Jamaican, so you know the grind is real.
Wait, what I really heard you say was they loved me so much that they didn't want me to go, but I had to do my own thing.
Yeah. So it was I was used to the grind because I was working I was comfortable working 2 jobs anyway, but it was great to work in the same building, you know, so, and they had a gym and all of that. So it worked out for me, but I wanted more. So as my career started to grow, I met another guy who worked at one of the jobs that I worked at. And he said, Christina, instead of you working 2 jobs, put a focus on where you want to go, study and get more certs, and then negotiate the salary that you want so that you can be making a salary for 2 jobs working 1. And I was like, that's a good idea because I hate driving one, back and forth. So when I was working in the stock, I met a Splunk engineer, but there was a guy who was training to be the stock SME at my job. And he was there for maybe 3 months, and then he started working for Splunk. I started learning Splunk because that was the tool that was used in the SOC at the time. And my team lead, we had lunch one day, and he was like, I told him, I want to work for Splunk. I want to learn Splunk. And I was actually learning Splunk because I was taking a Splunk class with the guy who was training a group of us.
Hey, y'all, real quick, we just want to say, if you're an aspiring cybersecurity professional, a couple tools that you should be familiar with are SIEM, Source Solutions. They are the backbone of pretty much every career in cybersecurity. Tiffany and I have actually taken a ton of cybersecurity training. We are very fortunate in that aspect. And so
we're proud to announce that we've partnered with Ellington Cyber Academy. Kenneth Ellington and his team are going to be able to present you with training to help you
not just learn to be a team member using the Simmons store, but also they help to guide you and mentor you for long-term success even after the courses are over. So
yeah, they teaching you technical, they teaching you soft skills. Like, this is one of the only programs that we've encountered that is going to make you an all-around cybersecurity professional, able to make an immediate impact wherever you end up employed.
you may see some of their information, take some time, check it out if you're interested in learning more about Simmons Store and advancing your career. This is the group that you want to work with.
My best friend was the one who asked me, hey, I know a guy named Olu. He's teaching Splunk. Are you interested? And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. That's how it kind of happened. And the guy who actually joined Splunk, I ended up sending him my resume and he sent it, and I started the process and I ended up getting an offer and I was so excited. So that's kind of how my journey in software engineering started.
Okay.
So I went from cyber, and I was still doing cyber, from cyber into software engineering with cyber related positions. So.
Oh no, you're definitely downplaying the complexity of your journey. And we have so many questions about it. So my first question, it actually has nothing to do with like most of that. It's how did you get into armed security? Period. Like, how did that happen?
So I used to work for a bank when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. It was, fun, but it didn't really pay. And I ran into this lady who was telling me, oh, you should work for security. You'll make good money. And I just ended up going through the training. And at first I was doing Virginia Arm training, Virginia Arm like jobs, because I went through the Virginia Arm training. And then I met this lady I used to work with who was like, you should transition into GSA. And so I went and took the training for that. And my first job was at the Ronald Reagan building, which is a very big building. I had been used to working just a single post where I worked by myself, or maybe like 4 or 5 other officers. It was at least 50 officers in this building. And when I say the drama was real, it was, you made good money, but you definitely was going to go through some drama in the process. And, I was kind of like fresh off the boat, like, just this happy, bubbly person. It's a lot of time on your hands when you work security. You're not really like mentally doing work. You're standing on post, waiting for something to happen or waiting for something not to happen. Mm-hmm. So of course, to make the time go by, gossip is, popular in that type of job. So I got caught up in a lot of just drama, and I'm one of those people where I hate when people lie on me. It affected my mental health. I felt like I was in an asylum, honestly. Like, yeah, I felt like I was crazy and I was getting called crazy. And I was like, I am crazy. These people driving me crazy. It was a lot.
So did you find, right? So you were a physical security officer, then you're in IT, then you're in cybersecurity, and now you're, working at a software company. Throughout those different kind of like transitions, did you notice like any sort of similarities between those positions and being a physical security officer? Like, did you ever have moments, in those different IT positions where you look back and you're like, dang, I know this because I was a physical security officer? Like, is there any correlation at all? Any relationship?
I would say yes, there is. You have access control, which relates to cybersecurity because you have to know exactly who you're giving access to when you are working with accounts, no different than who you're giving access to come in and out of a building. And, when you're badging into certain offices, tailgating, stuff like that, also relates to cybersecurity as well, because certain people shouldn't be in certain areas and it's a need to know. And I had learned that working in armed security, that everyone doesn't have that same access. And there's a need to know based on the level of position that they're in.
Yeah. Okay. So Tiffany and I were actually talking about this recently, and I was just like, you know what? The further the further we dive into our careers, the more we're on the command line, the further we get away from like the physical aspect of anything related to IT or cybersecurity. Because like even when we think about threats, right, we're like, oh, hackers, but like also storms.
Yeah, absolutely.
All those storms. Or when we think about social engineering, we're like, ooh, I'm not clicking on that email. I don't know that person, but yeah, do you know that guy at the bar that you're sharing your dog's name with, your birthday with, all that other stuff? So like, yeah. So I think it's really cool that you're able to make that connection.
Yeah, I mean, working in armed security, you learn a little bit of everything. Like you learn street smarts if you don't know it. You learn what to say and what not to say, and who and what not to say to the person, like certain people. You know who can keep a secret and who can't. You know, I mean, this is based on just observation. You know who runs their mouth and who doesn't know how to use discretion, doesn't understand what confidentiality means. You learn all of that working. For me, I learned all of that working in armed security. It was a foundation. I'm glad that I got that experience because it makes me who I am today. I wouldn't change anything. There were things that I wish that I could have done better as far as using discretion, but experiences are experiences for a reason, and I think they mold and shape the person. And I feel like my experiences, good or bad, have shaped me into the person that I am today.
Big facts. I have one more question if you don't mind. So my
Ask away.
Okay, all right, sweet. So my other question, again, like just going back through your journey. So we have a lot of people who might be watching this who are thinking about, getting into IT, cybersecurity, technology. And oftentimes what we find is people will be like, oh, I want to get into IT. What do you want to do? Well, cybersecurity. Well, those are not the same things. Well, isn't it all IT, right? So they don't necessarily know the difference between different jobs. So do you mind kind of going through at a high level, like what you sort of did when you worked in IT, what you sort of did when you worked in cybersecurity, and kind of a little bit of what you do now? Do you mind giving us a quick little breakdown?
So I'll just explain the difference. The IT industry has a ton of different positions. There are technical roles and there are non-technical roles. You're still in IT, but cyber is different from engineering, is different from development, is different from being like an ISSO, a security specialist, or you have all of these different positions. So it really depends on if you want to be in a technical role, if you want to be in a non-technical role. For me, I started out in a semi-technical role. Tier 2, you are doing troubleshooting, you are getting access, you are fixing things over the phone. Desk side support is where you work with hardware and you are actually like connecting things and removing things, replacing hardware, or setting up a whole computer system at a desk. So that's more of like desk side support. When you transition over into cybersecurity, there's so many different levels to cybersecurity. You can be in a technical role, you can be a threat hunter, or you can be a information assurance where you are making sure that people are compliant. So it really just depends on what you want to do. When I transitioned into cybersecurity, I started out as a cybersecurity specialist where I was making sure that people weren't sending PII outside of the network, or they were not accessing certain files or certain websites that weren't in compliance to the company that I was working with and the agency that I was working for. If they wanted the access, they had to explain why. So it was kind of like doing like a small level of investigation if I saw someone doing something that wasn't in compliance. So that it was kind of a technical role, but it wasn't as technical. There was no coding or anything involved. It was more so of me monitoring the network and making sure that people were doing things correctly. And then I transitioned into information assurance position. And that is similar, but it's more so you have to do a lot of POAMs where you're actually going through a checklist and making sure that this department is in compliance with their software and it's up to date. And if it's not, why isn't it? And giving them a time frame to get these certain things fixed so they can be in compliance. But it's a lot of meetings, a lot of back and forth. And I liked the role, but it really wasn't my passion. I wanted something more technical. When I got the opportunity to work in a SOC, it was a little more technical, but it kind of reminded me of my first role where you're kind of just monitoring the network. You're using a software tool to do the monitoring, and then you're doing your minor investigations to making sure, that people are in compliance, with just software downloads or sending, PII in and out of the system, just that type of stuff. And I really wanted to learn more. So when I got the opportunity to work for Splunk, I was excited because I get to learn the software behind the scenes. Because I was only using the software in front, like, their GUI, their search head where you're just searching the data. But I get to learn how to, configure the data, install, implementation. That stuff really piqued my interest. It was a phenomenal experience. I met a lot of people. When I worked in armed security, making friends was cautionary for me because of all of the ups and downs that I went. I was a firm believer that your coworkers are not your friends and you have to keep things separate. Now, did I make friends when I worked in security? Yes. One of my best friends, actually two of them, are from me working in armed security. But when I transitioned and started working for Splunk, it was just a completely different environment. The life, the culture, everything was just different. Everybody was like, it was like a family. Mm-hmm. It was, you go out, you work hard, you go out and party, you have fun, it wasn't all of the he say, she say, not for me, at least. I'm still friends with a lot of the people I met at Splunk, even to this day.
Like while you were just describing everything, I had a vision because I be having visions. Like, you ever seen That's So Raven? That's me. Okay. So whenever I think about like the difference between IT, like, because we had very, very similar journeys, because I went from like IT desktop support to cybersecurity analyst to, I guess, quote unquote, data engineer or something like that. I don't know, consulting architect. Mm-hmm. This is how I think I'm going to start breaking it down to people. So IT desktop support, you're climbing under people's desks. They call you, they say it's broke. You go plug it in. Cybersecurity analyst, you're looking at the logs. You go, oh, remember that guy whose desk I climbed under? He's looking at okay. And then what I do right now, I'm like, hey, let me put together this analysis tool so the SOC guy knows that one guy is looking at. So yeah, I just came up with that right now. You just inspired me. Thank you.
That's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
There was an incident that happened because we were monitoring a university, and it was a guy who had downloaded on the school network.
Just at work.
There's always one.
Yeah, he ended up getting locked up. It was bad.
That's dark.
Yeah, a lot of security.
I'm gonna let Tiffany take it away.
Thanks for that. Oh man, I need to catch my breath. Like
I'm hot. A little warm.
Okay. Such a like broad journey that you've had. Like I didn't even anticipate this whole thing. didn't see that one coming. But, I saw you light up a couple of times while you were talking. And one of them, especially when you started talking about Splunk. So can you talk about just briefly, like what you love about the data? Like what made you get to the role and be like, man, I really love this tool specifically?
That was the first tool I was introduced to. It really opened up my mind to like how data is utilized, user behavior, like when you click on ads, where are those ads coming from? I just started getting curious. Like you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you see these little ads that pop up, and that's kind of like how did you know that I was shopping on that, that website
Yeah.
like hour ago, or I was looking at that website, like even Fashion Nova.
Mm-hmm.
If I actually put something in my cart, I will see an email reminder saying, hey, don't forget you got this in your cart.
Okay.
Then I'll go
Yeah.
on Instagram and see, hey, I will see like strolls of Fashion Nova ads. And I'm like, that's interesting. And it's all related to user behavior and just data and
Gotcha.
how they track your data. So it was very interesting for me. That was the first company that opened my mind up to learning more about data analytics.
Okay. Gotcha. So
That explains those Temu ads I keep getting.
yeah, like we talk about that at my desk. I have to talk to a lot of people about our network monitoring, and a lot of times people don't realize, I only went to Google, but they don't realize when they're pulling up their web page, they're also pulling up all that stuff in the background, so they can tell you like,
Right.
no, I never scrolled to that, or I never looked at this website, and you just don't even know what's going on in the background. So being able to see that behavioral analysis and see how much you lit up about it, I appreciate you telling us where that passion came from.
It honestly, like, it started with cyber. And like I said, I was working in help desk. I came across this position.
Mm-hmm.
So I used dice.com to find my jobs when in the very beginning, right? And I got interviewed by this lady named Marilyn Rivera. I was fresh into IT. This woman gave me a shot. If it wasn't for her, I feel like she laid the foundation for me to be where I am now, because she gave me a shot. When you are new, it's really about someone just taking an opportunity or just giving you an opportunity, giving you a shot, believing in you even when you don't believe in yourself. She has been my mentor throughout my career. She is my family now. When I tell you, transitioning from armed security into IT or cybersecurity, the IT industry, you make those connections, and the connections are for a lifetime. She is somebody that I hold near and dear to my heart. And I've met so many other people who always be like, yeah, Marilyn was the one who like helped me get into IT. And I'm like she's incredible. And she gave me a shot, and it took my career to just different levels. And anytime I needed her advice or anything, she was always available. She would always tell me, do this, do that. Because I had a situation when I first started working in IT, and there was a supervisor who, she told me she was transferring me to another position, but I felt like she was trying to fire me without telling me, because she did that to Marilyn.
Oh.
And I contacted her. She told me exactly what to do. I reached out to HR, kind of let them know what was going on. And because the HR manager didn't know what was going on, didn't really care for this woman, she made sure that I was transferred to the position that she said I was. And if it wasn't for Marilyn, I wouldn't have even known what to do, because it was kind of done underhandedly without me communicating. So it worked out. She's been just my ride or die.
Yeah, for sure. Mentors are important.
Yes, they are. They guide you in the right direction, especially when you don't know what to do.
Okay. All right. Well, let's continue going down that path. If someone were to come up to you and say, hey, Christina, I'm interested, or I'm brand new in the cybersecurity world, and I'm looking for guidance about things to look at to help me on my journey, what are a couple of resources that you would give them immediately to say this would be helpful on your path?
I'll say it's great to have a degree if you already have a degree. It doesn't really matter what your degree is in. But if you want to get into IT, to get certifications, because technology changes and you have to keep up with it. So if you want to get into a cybersecurity position, I would say Security Plus.
Okay.
I when I started, I did A plus, Network plus, and Security plus. I got all three of those. A plus works, you know, if you want to start off with like service desk. Network plus, if you want to do network monitoring, but Security plus, if you're trying to get like an entry level cybersecurity position, Security plus definitely is the foundation because it will teach you about the security principles, access control, anything that you need that's that foundation level for cybersecurity. And if you want to bump it up, CEH is like the ethical hacker. Is also a great certification to have in your security, you know, as far as like getting a security job. Now, I did see your podcast about, you know, not going crazy on the certs.
Episode 1.
I did see that. That's very true. Get the knowledge. Go through the training so that you understand what you're going to do. Now, you're going to get training on the job, but you have to have that foundation. You have to come in there knowing, okay, I know the ground level principles of what to do, and then tailor it to your individual position.
You know what? I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk too much, but there was something that I recently realized I'm finally like able to articulate when people ask about certifications, right? There's your certifications that develop your theory, right? Because you need theory, you need those basics, that academic piece. And then there are certifications that apply the theory. And so I think it's, you know, those are the ones you get your hands dirty, your labbing and all that stuff. So I definitely think it's good to, you know, get those certifications like the CompTIAs, get your theory popping. And then, you know, that's when you start migrating over to the SANS and you're like, oh man, now I get how all of this pieces together. So yeah, again, vision, you just inspired another thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tiffany.
Oh my goodness. No, it's fine. I enjoy it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, to open up that door, I would say, yeah, get the knowledge, get the training. There's so many websites now that was not available when I started. You have like Udemy. They have very affordable classes. They even have a monthly membership if you want to take multiple classes without having to pay for each one. Coursera, if you want to learn technical skills and get a degree, that is an online. Westwood College also, because they specialize in getting your degree and getting the certs at the same time. Now, if you are a person who is like, I need to be in a class, I need to sit down, I need to have a teacher in front of me, showing me, walking me through the process, I can understand and relate to that because that's what I did when I first started. The training camp or training camp, if you Google that, they have amazing classes. That's where I started, where I got my CompTIA certifications. It's a virtual, they have virtual options and they have a physical location. You can actually sit down and get training, and they prepare you for the exams and they train you at the same time. And I say, if you're new to IT, with those trainings that you pay for and you're sitting in a class, you will get a voucher. Don't take the test at the end of the class. Take the voucher. It's good for a year. Study on your own. Then take the exam when you're ready. You have a year to use the voucher. So I always tell people, if you are going to a boot camp, understand that most people that are in there who are taking the exam at the end of the boot camp have been in the industry for a while and they are doing a refresher. If you're new, you don't take the exam at the end of the boot camp. You will take your voucher and you will hold it and you will study on your own for at least a month or two, take practice exams, then take the physical exam. That's what I did. And it worked for me. I made the mistake of taking the exam right after the boot camp and I failed. So I learned and I spoke to the teacher and he was like, no, I think you should wait. So I ended up having to pay for another voucher and I actually went and studied on my own. And then I took the exam again and I passed.
I'm glad you touched on that because we always talk about how easy it is to get to the knowledge. You have classes, you can do this online, you can talk to a bunch of people. right? But we never talk about how challenging it can be in order to like get through that process, right? So go ahead.
I'm a firm believer in failing forward.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius. I don't pretend to be, but I'm a person that don't give up. So if I failed, I may cry. I may go out and have a drink and be like, but I'm going to take that exam again and again and again until I pass it. I used to be very hard on myself. I still am in some aspects. And sometimes I have a little bit of anxiety. A lot of people look at you and they like, oh my God, you're inspiring me. I wanna do what you're doing. I wanna, you're like someone that I admire. But they don't see the nights where I'm up studying and I'm drinking coffee or I'm taking caffeine pills so I can stay up and focus and study, or how many times I failed an exam and I'm crying my eyes out, praying that the next time I will pass. They don't see those things. They just see the outcome, and a lot of people, they say, oh, I want to get into IT, I want to get into IT, but they don't really want to put the work in. They just want you to hook them up, hook me up with a job. I had a friend that said that the other day, hook me up with an IT. I'm like, do you have your certs? Nah, I'm like, okay, so I can't hook you up with anything. I can guide you in the right direction, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not capable to hook you up with anything. Like, even if it came down to me hooking you up with a girl, like,
wait, I'm like, people coming up to Christina like, you gotta need him jobs. You gotta need him jobs.
I mean, it wasn't like that. It was just like on some smooth type stuff. But I'm just like, even matchmaking, like, you have to date. You have to know if this is your person. You have to put the work in still. You have to
you do.
date, court, go out, spend time. You have to do that stuff. So you can't just hook a person up. You still have to do a level of work to be successful or thrive in whatever it is. A lot of people are not willing to do that. They're not willing to say, I'm going to sacrifice this for this. I'm a person that's going to sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice hanging out so I can study, so I can get my certs, so I can get a better position. I'm going to sacrifice that. I'm going to sacrifice not eating out so I can save money, so I can buy a house or buy a car or go on a travel, go on a trip. So when it comes to transitioning into a different industry, you have to pick your poison. You have to figure out what's important to you and where you want to be. And even if you have a vision, do a vision board. That way you can see your vision and stick to it. So when things get hard, you can open it up and say, okay, let me recalculate. I did a vision board and I've done several. Almost everything on that vision board has came to pass.
How do you stay grounded? And what I mean by that is, in this industry, like, burnout is, it's a common occurrence, right? So what do you do? Like, what are some ways, a couple of ways, that you stay grounded and keep yourself from making it to that point where you're like, I am burnt out?
I try to increase work-life balance. I do a lot of hot yoga, meditation, getting away, traveling is also a great way to kind of help with burnout, not isolating yourself, hanging out with your friends, not, yes, I go hard when it comes to studying and stuff like that, but I had to learn how to like have work-life balance. Now I had too much fun, but not work too much, kind of balance it out. Not isolating yourself helps. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people that are encouraging you, that are pushing you, that also have a little bit of fun. Sometimes having friends that are not in your industry helps as well, because you get to break away and not have to talk about IT.
Yeah, I feel that. I like to punch stuff. Shout out Coach Asa.
Yes. So I love going and taking classes at the gym. You get to meet all kind of people. You get a good sweat going about your day. going out to different events, just kind of switching it up a little bit.
Have you ever gone roller skating?
I was just going to say, so it sounds like I'm the only person that rolls around in my house on roller skates during the day to just kind of relax when things are going crazy.
Literally in the house. Literally skates in the house.
I went to a roller skating event, and I actually went and purchased, and roller skates are not cheap anymore. So
don't say that, Christine. Don't say that.
I know
loud.
it. She's got roller skates.
Roller
She be in the house roll bouncing. She be in the house doing all the stuff. You be seeing it on TikTok. That's what she be doing in the roller skates. They cost as much as Jordans. Continue.
Mine's were, do you want to see them?
Yes.
Scratching up.
Go ahead,
scratching up my floor with her roller skates. It'll come out.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
They match your outfit.
And the colors.
This is my favorite color. So.
Yeah.
Yes. And these were $250.
Oh,
I like the colors. Yes. That's
roller skating. It's a really good workout too.
Mm-hmm. I try not to think about it that way because then I don't want to do it so much anymore. So I just kind of vibe out and pretend like I'm in the club.
If I learn how to skate well enough, maybe Usher will ask me to come on tour.
I was thinking that when we were talking about Las Vegas, but I didn't want to say that. Oh, okay. Well, could you tell us like what you feel like is next for you?
I do want to explore the cloud space.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I want to get better at coding.
Okay.
Writing scripts, automating. AI is like very popular now. Yeah. So just kind of learning AI, getting better at coding. I'm taking a Python class, learning Ansible, just the DevOps tools that help you automate stuff and make things easier for you to get things done faster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that. Right now, I work for another software company. I don't work for Splunk anymore. I absolutely love the company I work for now. Their tool is amazing. I've learned so much. The culture there is very similar. I've made some awesome friends. Just getting better with that tool and learning how to code and automate using that tool is my focus right now.
Is this the tool that Jordan stays up all the time working on because she figured some cool thing out, or is this a different tool?
Ansible, she's an Ansible guru. Ansible, Terraform.
No hablo inglés.
Docker. I know you like Docker. Docker, Puppet, Chef.
This isn't about me. This is about you. Tiffany, do you have any more questions for Christina?
I do not. This has been fun, Christina. Thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man. We appreciate it.
Have you ever seen Tiana Taylor's black and white room?
I haven't.
She has a black and white room, and it's supposed to be like, oh, it's black and white like a comic strip. Right now, that's what your room looks like.
What?
Oh, really?
I love it. I'm obsessed. But,
Okay.
well, thank you.
I appreciate it. I guess it's a compliment.
Yeah, I like it. It's aesthetically pleasing. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much, Christina, for taking the time to join us. I know, like I said, it was a journey for you to even jump on here. So we appreciate you being flexible and dynamic, just like you always are, even at work. So
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I know it was crazy this morning, but we made it happen. So.
For sure. Well, I mean, I guess this is where we're supposed to wrap up the show before we officially conclude. And we went way over our time. Thanks for letting us stay, Anthony. Before we conclude, something we have to mention real quick. We will be canceling our 90s R&B and Tech Talk event. Anthony knows now because we've already told him like a week ago. But we are canceling our 90s R&B event. So for any of you who were like thinking about doing it or wanted to do it, we appreciate y'all, but we are going to push it back to 2025. But in the meantime, we're still probably going to play the game because it's fun at the beginning of every episode. So yeah, again, thank you. Yeah, you did good. Like I said, you got what, 3 out of 4?
Yeah, she got 3 out of 4.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that leaderboard.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
But All right. Well, thank you again. We can go ahead and close it out. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in, for tapping in. We really appreciate y'all, and we hope to continue to see you in the future.
See you next time.